All right, welcome back to the channel. We got a problem. We got a problem in the Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul exhibition fight. As video comes out of Gervonta Davis preparing with the gloves that he will be wearing in that fight, Ryan Garcia reacts and lets people know that this could be a major problem for Gervonta. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I am going to try to get excited for the biggest event that we are going to see this year, the Gervonta Davis exhibition fight with Jake Paul. As we get closer to it, video is starting to come out of Gervonta Davis preparing for the fight. And when I looked at the video, I noticed something that looked very interesting to me. It looked like Gervonta Davis was wearing balloons on his hand. Now, they're regular practice gloves, but if you know what you're looking at, you realize that this is the same size glove that Gervonta Davis will be fighting Jake Paul with, 12-ounce gloves. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for what you do. It means a ton to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks. I saw my guy, Ralph Chestnut, in the super thanks the other day. Thank you so much, brother, for the $2 holler. Means a ton. Definitely a dollar is worth 100 views, just so that you know. $10 is worth 1,000. So thank you guys so much for adding to the total. But let's get into this because I was listening to Charleston White. And Charleston White gave his review and what he thought about the Gervonta Davis and Jake Paul fight. And what he said was, look, man, do not pick against Jake Paul because he didn't believe that any of the fights that Jake Paul have had to date really have been a real thing. And that the boxing world is looking for that great WHITE hype. And Jake Paul is going to be that guy, even though he really can't do it in a real boxing match. So he was basically reflecting and saying that he, you know, the saying where they say, believe a half of what you hear, half of what you see and none of what you hear. He adjusted it to say, don't believe anything you hear and anything you say, anything that you hear and anything that you see. And honestly, man, when it comes to internet boxing, YouTube boxing, and what people say is going on in the media, without a doubt, I think Charleston White is 100% right about that. Don't believe anything you hear. Don't believe anything you see. Wait to see how things play out. And ultimately, everything will come out in the wash. Well, going into this fight with Gervonta Davis, I had my concerns about the fight because of the same type of reasoning that Charleston White used, except for mine is slightly different. I don't think that either one of these guys are going to try to do too much damage to each other. Number one, because if it's scripted, which more than likely to an extent it will be, Gervonta Davis is not going to put himself in a situation where Jake Paul is going to actually be able to hurt him. And with these 12-ounce gloves on top of Gervonta Davis's hands, which is bigger, 2 ounces bigger, I do believe, than than Jake Paul usually wears in his fights, are pretty much designed to make sure that Gervonta Davis lands on him. It doesn't hurt him. It doesn't hurt him either. But Calvin Ford brought up the issue and said that, hey, man, why can't we just have Gervonta Davis being in 8-ounce gloves, what he's used to, and Jake Paul have what he's used to, 10-ounce gloves, and keep it pushing from there? Because they're not trying to get a knockout. That's why. That's why Jake Paul, they originally contracted the weight at 190 and it moved to 195. And they're pretty much trying to edge everything towards the advantage for Jake Paul. Because Jake Paul, if it wasn't for the size, it would literally be no doubt whatsoever that Jake Paul was about to get run out of this, that Jake Paul's about to get run out of the fight. Ryan Garcia is somebody that co-signed on that and said, yeah, when he heard about the gloves, he's like, this is going to work in Jake Paul's favor. Jake Paul is going to like that because what Gervonta Davis hits Jake Paul with, he should be able to absorb slightly better than he would, especially if it was an 8-ounce gloves. But don't get it twisted. Gervonta Davis, if you has been sparring in 12-ounce gloves, and he's knocked people out in 12-ounce gloves. So Gervonta really didn't care. He just is focusing on, please don't bring any BS in the ring. Like, don't juice, right? Don't juice up for the fight. When they get into the fight, the things that Gervonta has to worry about is things like grappling. He's got to worry about Jake Paul grabbing him, trying to lay on top of him, hitting him on the back of the head, rabbit punching him. Because if they get into a clinch, where's Jake Paul going to be able to hit him? He's not going to be able to hit him he's not going to be able to hit him very well on the back or on the shoulders. He's literally going to be right there to be rabbit punching Gervonta, man. But at the end of the day, man, all this is some big exhibition. And it's an exhibition that, however, I have to tell you, is a very high-paid exhibition. There was an interview from David Benavidez, and David Benavidez was talking about fighting Canelo or fighting Terrence Crawford, and asked, he said, well, would you fight the guy interviewing David Benavidez asked him, would you fight Terrence Crawford for $100 million? And David Benavidez said, man, Canelo Alvarez didn't even get $120 million. So if that's the case, then Gervonta Davis is getting over $150 million. That tells you that now Gervonta Davis is the big cash earner in the sport, man. But man, I'm looking forward to the exhibition. I'm really to tell you the truth, I'm looking forward to the undercard fights more than I'm looking to the fight itself. As far as Jake Paul and Gervonta goes, I just hope that it comes off without any type of ridiculousness popping off, like something like, Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Zab Judah, where people started jumping in the ring and doing silly stuff. As long as Jake Paul keeps it straight up and down, he doesn't get funny. Gervonta Davis keeps it straight up and down, doesn't do anything funny. And it's just going to be something that we're going to get past and have a good time just enjoying the event itself. As far as the fights that are on the undercard, though, my guy, Gary Antoine Russell, is fighting Andy Hiroka. So I just hoping my nervousness for that whole card is going to be over with that. Soon as that fight is over, because I'm looking forward to Gary Antoine Russell really doing some things at 140 pounds where these guys are collecting, where these people are starting to pile up in that division. Guys like, Richardson, Hitchison, Teofimo Lopez is still down there. I don't think he's moved up there. Shakur Stevenson is moving up there. There's just a lot of fights. Sabril Matias is a fighter that I like a lot. So there's a lot of guys at that 140-pound division I think Gary Antoine Russell can fight. And hopefully when Gervonta Davis comes back, that Gervonta Davis can tip it off with those guys as well. But, until then, I'm just taking this Jake Paul fight as something to talk about, something to have fun with, not taking it too seriously, not getting mad at Gervonta for taking it, not trying to ask him to retire and get rid of, and go away forever. None of that over the top drama. So it is what it is until the fight happens. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.